another comic book movie means another comic book AussieVerse review. Thank you very much for joining us today at AussieVerse. I am OmniBeau, joined by Grodd, Watson, and Sharif. How are you, boys?
Pretty good. Stomach's full. Just had my dinner.
We are good. We are good.
So, if you have not seen the Ant-Man 3 Quantum Mania movie, do not fret. Do not change the channel. Is it a channel on YouTube? I don't know. The station? Whatever you want to call it. Because this is going to be spoiler-free, which is going to be a little bit of a killer for me because I don't know how to talk about things spoiler-free. But it will be spoiler-free. So, Grodd Watson, you are usually the man that does your categories. You are the man with the plan of how to do these sort of reviews. So take it away. Otherwise, it's just me talking.
Well, yeah, I suppose I didn't draw up a plan, but I guess we could start off. What were your expectations? Because for starters, I had been hearing mixed reviews, so I kind of went in with no expectations, which was nice, to be honest. To be honest, it made me freely just look at it and either enjoy it or hate it. We'll get to that bit. And what were your first initial thoughts going into this movie? What did you expect, Sharif?
But no, I enjoyed the first two, so I expect to enjoy myself in the third one as well. I was hoping that the third trilogy movie curse is not bestowed onto this one, and I think I was right. It didn't. So in the end, coming out, I think I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't. I have enjoyed nearly everything Marvel has put out since Endgame because that's what everybody talks about. There's before Endgame and there's after Endgame, right? But I haven't loved anything since Endgame, right? I've either been enjoyed, I've either liked, but I haven't loved. And so my expectations going into this movie were pretty low because my expectations were relatively high for Multiverse of Madness and nearly met. And what was the one after that? Thor. Yes, that's right. Thank you. Thor, Gore, and God Butcher, and all that, and that ended up being what that was. So by the time I walked into Ant-Man, I was a little, reserved. But I'm glad I was because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. So dive into the movie of our thoughts. So my initial thoughts after, so going in with no expectations. I actually enjoyed it because I guess Ant-Man's in that area where I've just enjoyed all three of these movies. They've been good. This one's a little bit different of an Ant-Man movie, obviously, because Quantumanium. But and you mentioned before, Bo, like Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. I wouldn't put it above that. I liked Multiverse of Madness better, but that's just me. But definitely, I thought it was better than Thor and Black Panther. So we were in the middle there somewhere. So yeah. Well, I heard people whinging about the CGI, which I just didn't notice. It was bad.
Everybody whinges about CGI.
Seriously, go do it yourself then, dickheads. Yeah. Fuck. Ridiculous. What can you do? Like, it's Quantumanium. What do they want? How's it supposed to look?
I think the world building itself looked really beautiful.
Yeah.
I think I can understand where that the shortfall of the CGI maybe in the callback to a previous character that came back that I wasn't expecting to see, but yeah, when that character came on screen, I said, wait a minute, that. I think I know that, and then when they reveal who the actual character was from the previous movie, I say, oh man, they did it good.
The strange feeling that I had after it was almost I don't think claustrophobic is the right word, because it was in such a huge world, so it's almost impossible to be claustrophobic. But because the whole movie was set in the quantum realm, you did have a little bit of a feeling leaving the cinema of like, hang on, I haven't seen trees in the sky and things for like 2 hours. It was a little weird, but after watching it, the next few days, I kept hearing bad reviews about it. And now it's the second or the first movie on Rotten Tomatoes to get a rotten score. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, how is Ant-Man the first or second, I can't remember which one, rotten score, when you have Eternals and you have like all this other stuff that Marvel, it bewilders me, you know. I thought it was a good film.
Yeah. I think Rotten Tomatoes Eternals is the worst score, but yeah, I don't get it. Look, I just enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's amazing. I'm not definitely going to say it's bad. It's just been a good, fun Marvel movie. I mean, look, what do people expect from Ant-Man? I mean, like, he's never been a character that's been put on a pedestal or put on greatness. I thought this was a stepping stone in what Ant-Man is, basically, as a character. So, do you want to move into roles and casts and characters that you liked?
Yep. I thought everybody's great. I am a huge, huge fan of Michelle Pfeiffer. So any movie with Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm there. But I think Bill Murray was just a waste. Like, there was just no point having him in the film. But everybody else did a really good job, especially Kang. I forget his name.
Jonathan Majors.
Majors, that's right. Yep, he's everywhere these days. He's now going to be as well. Yeah, man, I thought it was really good. No complaints.
Yeah, sure.
I think Scott has grown to he's comfortable by this point because, you know, after Endgame, at the intro, I've saved the world at least a couple of times, and he's pretty sure of himself. I mean, looking at how he carried the character in terms of his fight scenes in the quantum realm, and when he just started, man, light and day. And again, Michelle Pfeiffer, when there was the throwback scene as to how she actually what she did when she was trapped and who she met over there, and the characters that she built relationships with. I think that at the beginning, when she was reluctant to share that experience, it kind of helped my attention. Say, all right, so what actually happened in there that she doesn't want to freely share with family, especially, and we found out.
Yeah, I thought that was a good build up to Kang. Like, they kept on saying him and stuff like that, so you got a little bit of a chill going, ooh, yeah, him. So I thought that was good. For me, obviously, Jonathan Majors I thought, amazing as Kang. One of my favourite villains in the MCU, I think, all up. I thought he did the character well. I thought the same thing with Gore in Thor. They missed an opportunity to dig a bit deeper into it, but we've got time at least. At least he's not a one and done villain. Sorry. So at least we've got time, because Kang can be very emotional. He's gone through a lot, and different Kangs have gone through this and that. So I thought he was really good. Look, and Sharif, I understand what you're saying about Paul Rudd, Scott Lang's character. Like, the growth that's come, like, he's been taught by Hope how to fight in the Ant-Man suit, and now he's teaching Cassie how to do the moves and stuff like that, how he's grown as a superhero. I thought it's been really good, and he's sort of now the mature guy because he's kind of had to be.
I think what I was scared about was before Thor Ragnarok, if you were going to pick a character that was going to be the comedy aspect of Avengers, you'd say it's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously now the first thing people think of is Thor. So I was concerned going into Ant-Man 3 that this was just going to be way over the top and not dramatic at all. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. When there was humor in it, it was good. It wasn't too much. There wasn't. It was a really good balance of it, and that's what I wish the Marvel Universe had again, not this over the top comedy.
Yeah, it's basically just sort of up to the actors of the comedy, isn't it? I guess because Paul Rudd's a naturally funny guy, so when it had to happen, hey,
directors and writers.
Yeah, true, but the delivery has to be right.
Yeah.
I want to mention Catherine Newton as Cassie Lane. I thought she did a great job. I really enjoyed her character. I enjoyed her growth. She's a lesser-known character, and if people don't know, it is a recast from Endgame. That's not her.
Yeah, I'm not sold on her. Not sold on
her. Well, she's a very small-time actor because she's been in Supernatural.
Oh, I've seen her in a few things, yeah. I just don't know.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know. You know how when we were introduced to her, and Scott got the call to get her, and then in the car ride back, her activism, I felt, was kind of shoved down my throat. It's just a little too much, and then she brought that into the quantum realm when she helped the community there. I'm with you, Bo. It just doesn't sit well with me. That one.
I just didn't get the feeling from the way she portrayed the character, like, because she's okay. So she's eventually meant to be stature, right, of the Young Avengers. So I just don't see that version of her going out there and being a superhero for the right reasons. She just didn't sell me on that nobility. Do you know what I mean? She was just too much of her own personality, which, okay, that can change and characters can grow. So it might be early for me to say that, but anyway, that's just the way I felt with her.
Yeah. Well, I got an argument of like she was in jail because she was in protests and standing up for the other people, for the blimp that couldn't afford houses anymore and stuff like that. And then when she went to the quantum realm, she wanted to fight with the rebels.
Yeah, but I find a lot of people that do that, though, are really doing it just to make themselves feel better, not because they really believe in the cause.
That all comes in your head, though.
What did you think of the?
I really enjoy to do that.
What did you think of the character designs of the people in the quantum realm?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Top notch, man. Did you know? I didn't know until after, but I remember when Ant-Man was getting made, they said the actor that played Polka Dot Man in Suicide was going to be in Ant-Man. And then when I went to see Ant-Man, I completely forgot that fact. And then it wasn't until a few days after I'd seen the movie that I was reading an article, and it was about who he played in the movie. So that was cool because I really liked that character.
Yeah, he's in the other two Ant-Mans as well. Like he's as a human.
Yeah.
The Russian dude, Dushan, whatever his name. Oh, Dushan. I forgot his name.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize till afterwards either. It is his voice. Thought that was a cool character. Like I thought all the quantum realm characters, like to start with, I was like, oh, this is a bit confusing, but I thought they did well as building the characters, and I thought it was well handled to a point.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I hate doing spoiler-free reviews is because there's so much else that I want to talk about with this film. Like, do you remember that scene with this, or when he said that, or when that happened? And we obviously can't say that in this. So there's a whole heap of a conversation that I'd like to have that we can't. So all I can really say is that, yeah, it was a good film. I really enjoyed it. Don't believe in the haters. Walk in it with a fresh mind. Also remember that if this was comics, right, this is the start of Phase 5. So therefore, this is like the first little tiny bit of the omnibus of the saga that's going to be the Kang Dynasty. So, you know, the people have been bitching. I'm going on a rant right now. People have been bitching about everything Marvel has been putting out since after Endgame. And yeah, even I turn around and say I haven't loved anything since then. But what people forget is that they need to build up and introduce new characters. And if it's not that engaging, it doesn't mean that, or it's not to your liking, it doesn't mean that by the time they're involved in the movies and part of the actual Avengers, it's not going to be freaking awesome, right?
I think I think they're just shitting on Phase 5 is, look, we've had Endgame, it was this big, and now we want something that big now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it that big when Thor 1 came out? When Captain America came out? You know what I mean?
All the other start of the phases weren't massive either. They're just build-ups. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think it's a good start. I think it's just as good as the start as the other phases, to be honest. And I think they've introduced Kang really well, and made him into this sort of villain that I reckon pretty scary, to be honest. I mean, like, he's a human at the end of the day, but he is passionate, and I thought he delivered quite well. And then you've got all these other Kangs, so it's just.
I was going to say, how do you know he's passionate? That's you know one Kang, boy. You know one Kang.
Hey?
I said, one Kang, boy.
Yeah. I've read the other versions, so I know about the other ones. That's why I'm saying there's so much potential.
When he was talking with Scott about all the other versions of himself, did you find yourself recollecting back to what we've seen in Loki?
Yeah.
How we in Loki that last episode we had a version of the story of how he's supposedly the last one, and now we've got this Kang in Quantumania, who was supposed to be part of that war that was told in that series. So, what are your expectations on the other versions of Kang that may or may not pop up down the road?
It's going to be a wild card, mate. It's going to be a wild card, I reckon. If up until the Kang Dynasty movie, who knows? And it's exciting.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to expect. For me personally, I'm excited, but this is going to be a difficult story tell, and hopefully it can get done right. Because I guess for the non-comic book fans, it can confuse people. They don't quite know what's going on.
You know what I'm just dying for? I'm dying for like an opening movie, whether it be an Avengers movie or another Kang, where we find out he's going to be a baddie in another movie before the Kang Dynasty, and it opens up where like it's on a desert, just scanning, and it's like thousands of years ago, King Ramatut, and it tells the story of him as a pharaoh and all that. Oh, that's what I want.
Do you think they're going to go down the route of one of his names is Nathaniel Richards?
I don't know, man. I think Ramatut and Immortus is because they're the two most popular of his other
Mm.
personalities. I reckon there you'll see those. But Nathaniel Summers, it all depends on the X-Men, doesn't it?
No, Nathaniel Richards. Sorry.
Oh, Richard, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Then
Yeah,
yes,
because that brings in the Fantastic Four.
FF, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of Cable for some reason.
Yeah.
So possibly we could possibly expect him when Marvel reintroduces the Fantastic Four back into the Marvel family. Yeah, and
Because it is
just
on the
ties everything
slate,
back.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
If Marvel was smart, going on another tangent here, the Fantastic Four movie would the first Fantastic Four movie would already have them married with kids.
Yeah, we don't need another origin story. Just like as we say with the whole thing with Batman, we don't need another origin story.
Yeah,
we know
man.
it.
Introduce Franklin, Valeria, get that Future Foundation started, baby.
Get it straight in there. Well, let's just dive straight in. Yeah, I agree. And same with Victor Von Doom, just same thing.
Yep.
He doesn't need to be an exclusive Fantastic Four villain where you get the origin with it. He's just there.
Yep. Great.
I think he's a big enough character to just cross over.
Yeah, true.
Rankings.
I would give it 7.5.
I'll just go with a 7. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'd have to go with 7.5 as well, Sharif. Yep. Cool.
All right. So those of you who've not watched it yet, mid credit and end credit, please stay. those reviews in those mid and end credit scenes are.
Yeah, it's very vital.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here at AussieVerse once again. Please do look us up on Instagram at AussieVerse_comics, where you can hit our graphic designer and editor up at A51_designs. And as usual, we are proudly, humbly, benevolently sponsored by the Comx Group. Go check them out. Here's a word from them right now. See you, boys.
See you, boys.
This show is sponsored by the Comx Shop. Check out comx.cx for all things Comx and find out what Comx is all about. We hope you enjoyed the show.